Hi, this is Dominic for Paphos Live, or actually for Cyprus Panoramas, because this is a film that's just going to go out in 360 format. I figured it'd be nice to have some 360s that haven't already been seen as flat files. So here we are. We're starting at the B7 from Paphos to Polis, on the top of the hill out of Paphos at the village of Tsada, and we're driving around Tsada, and then we're going to take a back route through to Armu, and then take another even further back route down to the Yoskapu Green Point, or Konya Green Point, depending on what you want to call it. So there'll be a bit of off-roading later on, only mild off-roading, it's on a farm track. Got to get the right turning up here first. Oh, pardon me. Weather-wise, cloudy, supposed to rain at any moment. Yellow hail and storm warnings. Hopefully it won't curtail this filming. I've got to turn here, I believe this is the one. I think I might have got the wrong one actually. In which case this could be a different film altogether. Yes, now that's a dead end, I know that much. So this isn't going to go quite the way I thought it was. We'll see where we end up. This will end up back on the B7 towards the bottom of it. You'll get some nice views here anyway this route. Oh, get off the middle of the road, please. A fair play to him for stretching his legs. I'm trying to work out a route to go now. I'm tempted to still try and get to Armu, but going via Misoyi and Neo Churio is a bit hit and miss, because the centre of Armu itself is a complete nightmare. They've been doing, in quotes, renovation work on the roads there, but it's a complete pig's ear at the moment. I mean, there's road closures, blocked roads, getting from one end to the other is a nightmare. And I know residents have been complaining about it too, and if the residents are complaining, then you can imagine how difficult it is for non-residents to negotiate the area. So what I might do is in fact go for the Chlorica, Green Point. But to get there in an interesting fashion, I'll drive down through Trimithousa. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. A-doo-be-doo, be-doo-dee-doo, dee-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee. Quite a bit of a surf on the wreck of the MV Demetrius 2 out there. Relatively speaking, because it's recent weeks, most of the time it's been flat as a pancake. I'm glad I don't have to do this journey every day, because it's rather bendy and monotonous after a while. There's the B7 again. We'll be joining that around the corner, not this one, the B7's corner. There have been fires up between Stroumbi and Kili over the last few days. I haven't actually been there to see it, but from what I was reading, it sounds like they're in the Martiri Gorge area, which would be a crying shame because it's really beautiful there. So I'll need to check that out at some point. in the near future. Now if you'll turn the camera to the right, you'll see there's lots of red and white barriers. This is part of the road widening they're doing down here. So I was far too early in my initial estimate as to the turning I needed. But I honestly hope it does rain a lot today, because we really do need it. The reservoirs are the lowest I've ever seen them. Now Metley have only been here just under 10 years, but I've got to pay attention here. Ooh, especially when they come around that quickly. Yes mate, I'm talking about you. Right, so on the B7 now. I could go back up that way, but it's not that dissimilar to what you just seen. I'm going to stay on the B7 until I get to the traffic lights by Paphos Bakers. Then I'm going to turn right there. But on the right here at the moment, you can see where the new lane's going to be. Now, how safe it's going to be, I'm not sure, because it'll basically mean there's going to be a lot more overtaking on the corner. And whether it's going to be 2 lanes going uphill and 1 lane coming downhill, or vice versa, I'm not sure either. All this while they wait for the motorway to get built, because the motorway will help from traffic coming from Limassol to Polis more than from Paphos to Polis. And also, I mean, for someone like myself living in Polemi, it'll make getting to Limassol a lot easier. Not that I really particularly like going to Limassol, because the last time I was there I got a €300 fine for not noticing one of their lights. There's always traffic problems in Limassol. Anyway, up here there's a good garage on the right. And you had the rumble strip back there on the left. Don't park in front of it if you just want to look at a map or something. Park at the other end of it. Right, so we're turning right just down here. There's a good DIY place on the right there. It's a good one on the left, a little bit further down as well. Right, so we're going to be going right. And there's a Paphos Bakers. And in busy times, the parking outside it can get quite chaotic. Some people have no qualms about blocking people in while they leave to go and get their lunch. And we're coming into Trimithousa. Yeah, thank you for subscribing if you have done to Cyprus Panoramas, and if you haven't done so yet, please do so, because we need 1,000 subscribers before we can get monetized. And even when we get monetized, there won't be much money coming in, but it's better than a kick in the face, basically. And if you do want to help us out financially in the interim, go to our Buy Me a Coffee page at buymeacoffee.com/Paphos Life. And there'll be a link to that in the description as well. On the flat films, I'd put that up in text, but on a 360 that wouldn't really work. Or it would work, but it would take so long to do so properly that it wouldn't be worth the trouble. Where are they going? Now, when you go down this road, you want to pay attention to the little mirrors they've got, because they can help a lot. There's nothing coming. So now we're leaving Trimithousa and we're going to run more or less parallel to the B7. This is, if you like, a Paphos bypass. It's interesting because further down here there's a turn to the left which will take you back onto the B7, but it's a bit of a track. But I mentioned it, no one used to use it, but I mentioned it, and I think I even put it on Google Street View a couple of years ago, and it's quite busy now, which is annoying. I'm my own worst enemy at times. A little bit of blue sky up there. There is a tiny little gorge as well between here and the B7, which is why there aren't many, aren't any apart from the track, roads going from one way to the other, because you need to build a bridge really. I mean, the track that's there, if you have a wet winter, that's going to get washed out anyway. And hopefully this winter's going to be a wet one. Good car electricians there on the right. Used them a couple of times. Now down here on the right, the first time I drove this route and filmed it, I mentioned that there was a figurehead beside the road that looked like Elvis Presley. It was just lent here. And literally within about 2 or 3 hours, and it had been there for years, and with about 2 or 3 hours of publishing that film, someone nicked it. Or the owner came and reclaimed it or something, but it was no longer there. This is the kind of burden I have to carry when I make my films, you see. I hope Elvis is well somewhere, wherever he is. Right, you've got to pay attention now if you're trying to follow the route, because I take the right turn just up here. The reason I do that is so that I can take a left turn onto the main road, because ultimately I want to go across the main road, and if I stay on the left, I have to turn over the traffic. I have to turn right over the traffic, you see, so it's easier this way. Where these other two people who are going already. They've obviously got the same idea. Have they watched a previous film of mine? Who knows? So we're going to be going left. Checking for traffic. Oh, it's all clear. And then we'll go right just before the panic pest control sign. Yeah, that guy's doing exactly the same. And they're doing building in this area. Every so often new houses are appearing. So depending on how soon in the future you're seeing this film, it might look a bit different. But you have to turn right here. I'll go this turning just for a change. Right, if you go along here, there's an interesting little chapel just where that sign is. You can go down to, and there's a nice little shrine cave there. I'll return there one day to do a bit more spelunking. Oh, let them come out. The big turning to remember is this one up here where you go left. But see, all this is relatively new down here. as is the roundabout at the bottom. And if you go straight on, you'll get to the Clorica-Kisoniga Road, but I'm going to be turning left because I want to get to Clorica Greenpoint. It's a bit brighter down here, and it hasn't rained at all, which is good. There's a funny road through there. They've obviously built the road with the anticipation of building lots of houses there as well, but run out of money or something. Well, I'll be turning left here. Looks like we're going to be quite lucky for traffic. This is normally fairly chocker. Cool, the light's going to remain green. There's not much traffic down here either. This is unusual. It's the right time of day, obviously. I want to turn right at some point. It looks like we're all going to the green point. More building work straight ahead. And currently there are 5 green points in Paphos where you can take all your waste. And they're all on the coast, which is nice. They need one in the centre, around Pelemi area somewhere. Doesn't have to be Pelemi, it could be Stroumbi, it could be Kathikas, I don't care. They definitely need one because that'll stop people dumping and stop so many fires starting. It's one of the reasons they start. Anyway, I'm not going to get involved there. I'm going to unload all my green waste here and I'll say thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next film. Cheers!